Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. And I'm in a super busy season of life right now. Some of it is things that I brought on to myself. Some of it is just life circumstances, and some of it is just, being a mom. If you're an overwhelmed, overworked, super busy, a lot of times stressed out mom, this video might be helpful for you. I just kind of want to share with you guys what's going on with me. I don't know if I have a miracle solution to this, but I'm going to see what I can do to help. So if you want to hear what's going on with me, then stay tuned. So my plans for this week, I had 2 other video ideas that I was going to share with you guys, and life has been crazy and just so busy. I barely have time to breathe. If you could see my house right now, oh my word, like I'm not kidding you. It is just, I don't have a moment really to do anything, which is fine. I'm surviving. It's fine. But my video for this week, the idea just changed a little bit last night. I thought, you know what? I'm just going to share my heart with you guys and kind of share what's going on with me, because as a mom, when I'm going through stressful, like overwhelmed seasons and everybody else seems to have it together and everybody else's house seems beautiful and Pinterest perfect and pretty, and everyone's making these amazing elaborate homemade meals, or I don't know, everything just looks like it's put together and you feel like you're the only one who feels like a disaster right now. It's hard and you don't want to feel alone. Well, you're not alone. So I'm at least going to share with you guys that I'm with you. If you feel like you're kind of a mess right now and your life is just crazy, high five, sister, because I am exactly that way. Let me just share a little bit about what I'm doing. What is going on in my life right now? Now, I will start off by saying this past year, I think I shared this in another video, just a glimpse of what we've been going through. So this past year, my husband got, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word, starts with a C and ends with a D. I don't know if I'll get hit if I say what it is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. He got that thing last November, and it has been crazy. It has been a super long, about 9 months of doctor's appointments, majorly sick husband, lots of stuff going on. He spoke at our church and shared kind of his testimony through all this. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments. I was thinking about sharing it in case anybody else is going through the whole long hauler thing, because my husband is the definition of long hauler. If you don't know what that is, Google it. But yeah, anyway, it's been a hard year. It's been crazy, but we're kind of finally in like the upswing. Is that what it's called with baseball? I think upswing. Anyway, we're going uphill. No, uphill is bad, right? No, we're going uphill. Okay. Yeah, we're finally going uphill. Things seem to be getting better. He finally found this medicine that seems like kind of a miracle medicine. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. My husband seems to be doing better. He's not back to his old self, and I don't know if he ever will be. So he's actually looking into other work because he can't do what he did before, because he was a police officer for the last 12 years or so, and he just can't do that anymore. Life has changed a lot. But right now, that all has calmed down a bit, but we have one thing that I guess has made some of these other life circumstances hard is we have a couple different friends that are real close that are going through cancer. One of my really close friends was in the hospital this weekend with the same thing my husband had last November. And it's just been hard seeing people sick, and it just weighing so heavy on my heart. And I don't know about you, but I am a very emotional person. My daughters and I have been studying about how the Lord can help you with your emotions, because girls are so emotional. We wear our emotions on our sleeves, but we're studying about the verse in Philippians 4:6-7, which is, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything through prayer and thanksgiving. I might be butchering it, but through prayer and thanksgiving, give your request to God, and the peace of God will transcend all understanding and guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. I probably just mixed up 2 versions, but you get the gist. God's going to help you get through this. Don't be anxious. Well, I like physically, when I am overwhelmed or stressed or anything like that. I actually feel physically nauseous sometimes. I don't even know how to describe it. My husband doesn't understand it because that's not how he is. Like if something's stressing him out, or if someone's rude to him, or if something happens that he doesn't like or whatever, he just brushes it off. I'm not like that. It like eats me alive, and it's hard. So I've been dealing with that, and then trying to just have daily life has been a lot lately. So I'm just going to give you a little peek into what's going on in our life. This isn't bad stuff. This is just busy stuff. But I've been having that behind the scenes, just being overwhelmed lately, which is not good. It's hard. Right now, so the first thing, I made a little list here so I could remember everything that we're doing. So the first thing that is majorly complicating our schedule, or just beefing up our schedule, is my two big girls are playing volleyball this year with a Christian school near us, and they play 4 to 5 days a week. So it's nice that they have Wednesdays off because of church. So that is the one day that we have off. But Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then sometimes on Saturdays they have games. And every day it's either practice or a game. And it's wonderful. I love seeing them in sports. I was a sports player. I played lacrosse when I was in high school, and I played volleyball a little bit in college. I wasn't very good. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you're going to be good at volleyball. They thought I was going to be good just because I was tall, but I wasn't. Anyway, it's been fun to see them play volleyball, but it's been busy, and we don't start early. I think the solution to all of this would be if I got up early and I got them up early and we started school at like 8 o'clock, but it's actually, I think, physically impossible in this family. I couldn't do it. So we do our schoolwork in the morning. So we have a heavier workload this year, especially with my 7th grader. She just has a little bit more to do than usual. So we do school in the morning, but we're not really finishing until pretty close to 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock sometimes, but usually it's between 2 and 3. Then they have to be at practice at 3:30. So it's very close to our house where their practice is, which is nice. I'm not driving super far, but I'm having to go take them to practice then. We've had a lot of games. So they have a lot of games on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that I actually go to the game and sit at the game. So then my entire evening is gone. Last night I didn't get home till 9 o'clock, and I had so much to do. So this is why I was so overwhelmed last night. When I walked around my house last night, just feeling exhausted from doing school, rushing from the school. I dropped my son off at grandma's house. We call her Mimi, at Mimi's house, because he didn't want to go to the game. And I didn't want to pay for him to go to the games. Anyway, I dropped him off at Mimi's. I went and we drove to the game, and then we were there for many hours. And then I had to drive one of the girls home who didn't have a ride, or to the school. Anyway, we get home, and I just started to think about everything that I had to do. And my kitchen sink was completely full. We stopped pretty much like, okay, finish your last thing for school, and we got to get out the door. So the table was exploded with books. My grading box was completely overflowing because I didn't have time to grade. So it's like, 9:30 at night. They're getting a snack because they're starving. I'm exhausted. I know I have stuff to grade. I have a book to read for Bible study, which is on Wednesday night, which is the following night. And then just knowing that I just have so much to do. I knew in my mind I needed to film a video. And just the whole, having a messy house is one thing that really doesn't leave my mind. So when everything's a disaster, the counter is covered. Every time we clean the living room, my son destroys it. That makes it really hard. And that's always like, it's hard to relax. I haven't had any relaxing time, but let's keep going. So we've got volleyball 4 to 5 days a week. We've got church 2 days a week. Sunday, it's Sunday morning and Sunday night. So pretty much your whole Sunday, and then Wednesday night, which I love. And it's amazing and wonderful that our church still meets and all that stuff. But it's another day that we have to do stuff. We are running an inn. If you guys didn't know that, we run an inn, and at the moment we don't have guests, but I need to get over there and make beds, and I need to get over there and clean. Well, my house isn't clean, and the inn needs cleaned, and I'm trying to figure out when I can do that. And I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that. Super messy house, just keeps getting messier, and people keep having to eat. Every time I turn around, it's like, oh, it's lunchtime. Great. Now I have to figure out something to eat for lunch. And I have to figure out something to eat for dinner and try to keep it somewhat healthy. And anyway, trying to do my YouTube videos once a week, which I film once a week. Then it takes at least a night or two maybe to work on editing and then uploading. So it's a few nights a week that I have to devote to YouTube, which I love. I really love this. So YouTube is one of those things that I just love, and it's something that I do for me, so it's worth the sacrifice of doing it and working on it at night and things like that. Homeschool 4 kids, 5 days a week. That is awesome, and I love it, but it's a lot. And that's just the homeschooling part. I'm not talking about keeping up with grading, which was one of my goals. If you didn't see my goal video last week, I told you sometimes I fail at my goals, but I keep setting goals. So that was one of my goals, to keep up with grading. So you can tell from my grading box that I haven't quite reached that goal, but I'm working on it. I am trying. So grading their schoolwork was one thing. Right now, my son is in a very difficult stage. He's 6. Like, I thought by the time you left, it was supposed to be like, I discovered with the girls that 3 terrible 2s was nothing. 3s was hard. But once my girls turned 4, they were pretty much angels and just amazing. My son, 3 was hard, 4 was really hard, 5 was medium, still kind of hard. And now he's 6, and it's like we started over again with the difficultness. So he's just real defiant, and that's exhausting. So my son, the little angel face. So that is just something else. My daughter is now in 7th grade, so she has a lot of teen activities with our church, which is wonderful, and I want her to do as much of those as we can. But she's 12, so she can't drive. So that's mom driving her when there are teen activities. Let's see, what else? Then trying to give everyone the time and attention that they need is hard, because that's another thing that I was talking about with my emotions. That weighs heavy on me. So if I know this kid like hasn't had even a one-on-one conversation with me in days, and it's all just busy, crazy, it just weighs on me, and it makes me overwhelmed. And then I have in my head another thing I add to the list. I need to take that kid out on a date. And so it's just, okay, that's another thing. Okay, and then the last thing I mentioned, I've got some sick friends, and with cancer and other stuff, and just that just makes my heart heavy, so when you're constantly thinking about that and praying about that. So that's what's going on. Now I'm going to give you the best thing I could come up with for remedies for this, or how to get through it. Do you guys want to hear that? Okay, so the first thing, I'm so glad this is the first thing and that I actually thought to do it, but I've been reading my Bible every single day this week, which is something that I'm pretty good at doing Bible time with my kids every day, but my own devotion time and reading my Bible by myself doesn't always hit the top of the list, because I'm like, oh, I got all this other stuff to do. I've been doing my Bible every single day, and I will tell you that yesterday, as crazy as it was and as busy as it was, I still had some sort of peace that, okay, God's going to get you through this. This is busy and this is crazy, and you feel like you just want to kind of curl up in a ball, but just being in God's Word gives you that comfort that you need, If you're in a busy season of life right now, no matter how busy your schedule is, don't just squeeze God in. Make time for God. And I've been doing it first thing in the morning, and I am not a morning person, but I have just been getting up, grabbing my Bible, coming back and reading my Bible, and it's life changing, obviously. So the second thing is, I took some time for me, even though I didn't feel like I had time for it. And like, you can feel kind of selfish for taking me time, but I really felt like I needed to. I made a hair appointment. If you know me, if you followed me for any time at all, you know that I don't like to spend a lot of money. And getting your hair done is expensive. So I am I've always been a blonde, but as I had kids, my hair started to get darker. So I upkeep it on my own with a box from Walmart, one of those that you're not supposed to use, because I'm cheap. And now I buy the expensive box, like $9, but I do it myself, and that's it, whatever. And I was finally like, you know what? I want to have a professional, pretty looking hair color. So I went and got it done this morning. See, what do you guys think? You'll have to let me know. My first thought was, I haven't had this light. I did a highlight and a low light, and I was kind of scared that it looked like gray hair, but I don't think it does. I think I like it. It's pretty. Anyway, it's more of like a natural blonde rather than that like yellow that I've been doing from the box lately. Okay. Anyway, I took that time for me. My mother-in-law teaches my kids art, so we switch things around. Normally they'd go to her house for art on Thursday. Well, she took them this morning. I dropped them off. They did art class at her house, and then they played until I came to pick them up. And it was a couple hours. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours probably. It was probably 2 hours until I came back to pick them up. I had some, there's like Amish kids walking down my road right now. Okay. So just doing something for yourself. Do something for yourself. Put some other stuff aside and make time for yourself, whether it's to do your nails, which I did my nails the other day because it makes me feel pretty. Go get your hair done, or just go to I don't know what your thing is. Usually mine is to go to the thrift store and just have an hour to myself, but this time was like real, like me time. Like I spent money on myself and did something for myself. But I feel like I needed that, and it kind of refreshed me, gave me some time away from the kids, some time away from the dishes and like everything, and I did feel better. So doing something for yourself, I think, is huge. Today, my instinct was like, okay, I'm getting my hair done at 11:45. We should just skip school, and because that's the way I work. So I was like, we should just not do school today, and then maybe I can catch up on stuff. We did some school. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. That's my point on this one. Sometimes you can do a little bit. So like we did Bible this morning, and then we did health, and then they went to Mimi's and did art. But if just because we weren't able to do math and reading and language today doesn't mean we don't do any school. I still got 2 things done that I don't have to do tomorrow. So just doing a little bit is helpful. And that's, I don't know, at least, I don't know if you struggle with that, but for me, I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of person, and I don't need to be that way, because you can do a little bit here and a little bit there rather than like devoting the entire day to something or whatever. So the 4th thing that I did, which I think was helpful, I had something planned for tonight and I said no to it. Do you ever struggle with saying no to like people, or no to things, or no to activities or whatever? I knew that I have no control over my girls having games and things like that, but I needed to say no to what I had going on tonight. And you need to do that sometimes. So if there is something that you can drop, that you can say, you know, sorry, I can't make it to that tonight. Sometimes you need to do stuff like that in order to catch up. Don't feel guilty for saying no to things that, even though they might seem like you absolutely should go to it. So, or absolutely should do this, or this person's going to be upset or whatever. So say no. Just say no. You know, didn't they say that in junior high or whatever? Well, it should be a thing for moms too. Just say no. Okay. The last thing may seem kind of obvious, but it kind of goes with the like all or nothing kind of thing. So my goal for today, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to go clean up the main parts of the house. Am I going to go clean toilets? No. Am I going to even go like do my laundry that needs done? No, I'm not. I'm going to go do the dishes. I'm going to straighten up the school table, and I'm going to, the living room actually got picked up this morning by the kids. I'm just going to clean our main living area. We have like an open concept in our living room kitchen area. When that is clean, it puts my mind at ease. Even though like the kids' bedrooms might be a mess. Well, one of the kids' bedrooms is a mess. Or, you know, I have stuff I need to do, or the bathrooms aren't clean or whatever. If you feel like if you don't think about that, you just see like what is in front of you, this part of the house needs straightened up, so that when I make dinner tonight, the sink is empty, the counter is already cleaned off. And anyway, so that's my goal. So when I'm done with this video, I'm going to get that straightened up so that I have that little main chunk of space in the house cleaned up. And then I feel like, at least for me, that really eases my mind. We can work on the other pieces other days, but at least I have that. If our kitchen is a mess, when you have an open concept kitchen, it's amazing. But if it is messy, or if there's like, I don't know about your kids, if I have 10, 15 water bottles on the counter, which I do, I have 4 kids, but for some reason they each use like 5 water bottles a day, it really overwhelms me and drives me crazy. So enlist the help of your kids. My kids are going to help. They do have chores every day, but I'm not great at making sure they get everything done. Okay, so do you guys remember this was covered with dishes? Actually, you saw it before I washed them. The sink was completely covered with dishes. Anyway, it's just clean. It's empty. The dishwasher's empty. The counter is cleared off, which almost never happens. I did have to make dinner. I actually got dinner all cleaned up and put away. It's just a relief to have this clean. You guys have seen this space before. The table was completely covered. I got all that picked up, and I do have my box right there. That is my homework for tonight. I'm going to tackle that and get that cleaned up. There's my living room. It's not amazing, but I did rearrange some furniture, and I put something over there just to make it fun because I like rearranging. So we're all in busy seasons of life. Sometimes it's busier than others. I look back at 2 years ago and I'm like, I can't believe I thought I was busy then. Like when my husband was completely healthy and he was working, we hadn't bought her in yet. Like my son was too young to really do much for homeschooling. I just had 3 girls doing homeschool and I thought I was busy. Like, and I'm sure next year and the year after, I'm going to look back at this year and be like, oh my goodness, what was I thinking? But when you're in the moment, it's hard and you can be overwhelmed. We're all overwhelmed moms, whether you've got 1 kid or 8 kids, whether your kids are in sports or in different activities like that, or if it's just homeschooling. It's just sometimes hard. Moms, we should really get like paid or something because it is hard. It's a lot of hard work and we're underappreciated, underpaid because I don't get anything. But it's the most rewarding thing I think you could do is be a mom. I also think it's very rewarding to be a homeschool mom. Being a mom in general, if you're loving your kids and taking care of your kids, it's overwhelming and it is amazing and incredible and rewarding. And you're really changing the life of those kids because not every kid has a mom that loves them. But homeschooling is hard too. But it is rewarding. Yesterday when I don't remember what subject we were doing, but we were doing some subject together and just reading together. And I was just like, it made me smile. Even with all this stuff in my mind and this list of things that I had to do, I just smiled being like, I'm super blessed that I get to homeschool these kids and spend this time with them and really get to know them and know their hearts and train them. And it's all worth it, but it's hard. So don't feel alone. Talk to another mom. You can talk to your husband, but it isn't the same. Like, at least for me, my husband doesn't, he doesn't get it because he's different. Just like I don't get when he was doing police work and working on the streets and it was busy and crazy. I can't really get that because I don't do it. Like, I can kind of sympathize and like, oh, I'm so sorry it was a hard day. But I don't get it because I've never done police work before. And it's the same way. Like, dads can't necessarily get it. Find yourself a mom that is in the same situation as you or just similar, has kids, and talk to her. And you need friends and someone to talk to. And I know I'm across the screen here, but I just wanted to encourage you that if you are overwhelmed, I just hope that me sharing what I'm going through, which could be, nothing compared to what other people are going through. But for me, in this moment, I get overwhelmed and it is hard, but God gets me through it every single time. He does get me through it. So I always say this, but make sure I know not everybody that watches this video has a personal relationship with God, but it is the only way to get through the hard times. Pray to God. He is like always there when nobody else is there, or when you feel like life is crazy. He's always there and he's always listening. And it's amazing to just think about that power of being able to listen to every single person on the earth that's praying to you at the same time. Our minds can't fathom it, but I hope this encouraged you guys. I hope this wasn't all over the place. I hope this made sense to you guys, and I hope things calm down for me, and I hope things calm down for you. And if they don't, we just need to prioritize and do what we can to get through it. And I also want to treasure every day with these kids and don't let the overwhelmed mama take over the loving, sweet mama or the wife that needs to be loving and sweet, because overwhelmed mom is not so pretty. No matter how much makeup or updo you do for an overwhelmed mom, it's not a pretty sight. So, but it happens. It's normal, and I hope this was helpful. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, don't forget to do that so that you're notified every time one of my videos comes out. It's usually homeschool life and thrifty stuff, but I can be random, so you never know what kind of surprise you're gonna get. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.